Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to my YouTube channel. I have the honor on behalf of Mr. Hakaron to have been asked to introduce this extraordinary drink. And as far as I know, there is nothing like this yet in Hungary, so I am the first to be able to present to you this truly amazing and fantastic beverage. I would like you to savor, either in your mouth or in your thoughts, the idea of Glenfiddich 50, so that we are talking about a 50-year-old spirit. This drink was released in 2022 and it is part of a series. I will share a few thoughts about this series later, but before that I want to add that Glenfiddich has already released a 50-year-old distillate twice before. On the one hand, it was released in 91 and on the other hand in 2009. The first one was a clay decanter. The second was released in a very beautiful green crystal decanter. What makes this release different from the previous ones is that this is not just a simple 50-year-old release, no, not for Fidich, but rather it is part of a concept. And I will talk more about this concept later on. The drink comes in an aluminum box if someone purchases it for themselves, and then once you are finally back at home, you can begin the exciting process of unboxing the drink itself, which I'm also just about to do with a great deal of pleasure. If someone opens this premium drink at home after purchasing it, they will see a truly fantastic and detailed description, all presented in perfectly matching colors and with a very specific concept in mind, which I will also take the time to elaborate on much later. This package contains absolutely everything about the drink that you could possibly need to know. A great deal of fascinating information can be known about the distillery itself, the intricate production process, and practically everything else involved in its creation. There is a helpful short little guide included here showing exactly how the drink was originally placed and how we can carefully assemble it ourselves. First, I would really like to show you the beautiful bottle, so I will slowly take it out of this small protective fabric bag it arrived in. Please take a very good long look at it to appreciate the detail. It is absolutely and truly fantastic. Perhaps I will take a moment to show you. It is incredibly beautiful and simply amazing. I do not happen to see the 50 forint bottle deposit marked on it yet, but it could certainly still be added later. This decanter is truly fantastic. First of all, I would really like to share a few detailed thoughts with you about the decanter itself, and then after that we will carefully go through everything else, one by one. The distinctive triangle is a deeply iconic and recognizable part of this unique bottle design, and it is truly iconic because if you look closely, there is a lower triangle that basically represents the solid base, the inner strength, and the long-term stability of the brand. Furthermore, there is another triangle located at the shoulder, which brings a sense of perfect balance to the form. And there is also one situated on each side as well, acting much like helpful orientation markers, if you will, providing a complete and harmonious aesthetic from every possible angle. On all three sides, there is a triangle that represents the inner value, showing the kind of perfection this drink can possess. And of course, it proudly displays the distillery's stag antler logo, as well as the fact that this is a drink that has been aged for 50 years. The drink was matured for 50 years in 3 different casks. These are authentic American casks, specifically high-quality American oak barrels that previously held premium bourbon. As a direct result of the careful blending process, these 3 distinct spirits were combined, and then they matured together harmoniously for another 2 full years in a further American oak bourbon barrel, before this truly astonishing and rare drink was finally bottled. So what we are talking about here is a magnificent single malt whiskey, which, as a result of blending, was created from 3 different casks. And again, this motif of 3s appears, like the triad of triangles. I'll come back to this later. This bottle is absolutely fantastic, completely unique. Each one is a crystal decanter individually crafted by a master glassblower. I can't take my eyes off it. It's simply mesmerizing. Simply fantastic. Now let's talk about the stopper, because they paid attention to that as well, the Glenfiddich stopper. This is an aluminum stopper made with milling, and the contrast between this stopper and the crystal decanter is meant to highlight the difference. This is a cold, hard metal, while the decanter feels like something living, something organic. The exquisite crystal, which is meticulously crafted with intense heat and roaring fire, and then to choose such a strikingly cold metal as the decorative cap for it, I truly believe that is a remarkably unique and innovative approach from the artisans at Glenfiddich. Let me tell you, when we personally visited them and looked all around the grounds and saw exactly what the historic distillery itself looks like today, we noticed that same kind of incredibly thoughtful and deliberate design reflected in every single corner of the facility. We saw this same thoughtfulness, purity, orderliness, expertise, and absolute professionalism in every corner. It didn't matter whether we were looking at the spring lake where they draw the water for the spirit, or the shop, or the hotel section, or the pub area where you could sit down and relax. This sense of careful consideration was present everywhere, and it comes through quite clearly. Now let me take a moment to show you the third part, which is perhaps the most fascinating and interesting part of this entire bottle for me personally. This specific section is the top. Naturally, it has a protective foil seal placed on it, since we are talking about a very specific type of metal that is highly sensitive and requires this level of careful preservation. It is a brilliant lustrous shade of emerald green, which means it's functioning exactly like a highly reflective mirror. So if I were to actually remove the protective foil and put my fingerprint on it, it's so incredibly and finely polished that my print would probably get permanently burned into the surface. Of course, I won't do that, because unfortunately this bottle does not actually belong to me personally. But this bottle is both a significant financial investment and an exquisite, remarkable work of artistic beauty, naturally. That is absolutely and truly fantastic. Now, I have a few more detailed thoughts about what the bottle itself can be kept in. Just imagine, I actually didn't even know before today that people work with unique things like this. There is a very talented gentleman named Manuel Garcia who is a professional data artist. A data artist essentially means someone who possesses the skill to visualize complex data in a beautiful way. It is truly fascinating to see how he transforms raw information into art, into a tangible physical material form, which essentially means he meticulously gathers and collects data and in some creative way constructs a unique physical object out of it. Now what you see right here, this specific container contains 50 years worth of detailed weather data from the Glenfiddich distillery's exact location. Listen closely to this. And this is Manuel, the visionary artist, meticulously used this extensive data to create and design this exquisite crystal decanter storage box. This piece is also crafted from solid aluminum, so the two components together are actually quite heavy to lift, but it is truly something incredible to behold. I mean, someone originally came up with the brilliant idea to use specific temperature data from the past 50 years, so while that drink was resting quietly inside, in the barrel, they basically collected all the information and made this kind of storage box out of it. I think this is absolutely spectacular and truly amazing. And why is this important? It's important because of these 30 years and what these bottles represent, because I haven't touched on that yet. As I mentioned, it's made up of 3 bottles. Here you can see Glenfiddich's 30 years. This is the alignment of time, or the reimagining of time, the contemplation of time in a bottle. There's also a 40-year-old and an even 50-year-old. Each bottle is built around a certain concept. The 30-year-old captures that moment, brings forth that moment, and the entire concept of the bottle is built around it. The moment when the master distiller says that as soon as the drink is ready and can be bottled, this is the moment that the 30-year-old bottle essentially represents. The 40-year-old bottling shows the layering of the drink, how over time and in the barrel, the drink becomes what it is meant to be. And last but not least, the 50-year-old edition represents the time spent together, or the shared time. This is a unique environment where temperature, atmospheric air pressure, and relative humidity are constantly present. So it essentially brings together this influential trio of factors. And why exactly are humidity, air pressure, and temperature so critically important in the long life of a maturing whiskey? Well, it is because it really matters significantly how much alcohol or liquid content will gradually evaporate from the wooden barrel over a long period of time. The evaporation number is a dimensionless ratio used to characterize the volatility of a liquid. It is calculated by comparing the time a solvent takes to evaporate against the evaporation time of diethyl ether under standard conditions such as 20 degrees Celsius. This value helps chemists determine how quickly a substance will dry or vanish when exposed to air, which is vital for industrial safety and process efficiency. Let me take a moment to show you this drink in detail so you can see how it appears as a whole within the broader creative concept. I think it's fantastic, even just like this. It is absolutely incredible and truly remarkable. And maybe I won't even put it on the final display today. It is simply unbelievable to look at. If you consider the overall aesthetic, you can see why. If I truly had to sum up every single thing about this remarkable drink you see right here in just one word, for me, it would definitely be respect. Respect for our wise ancestors, deep respect for the beauty of nature, profound respect for the passage of time, and respect for the past, the present, and the bright future. Holding a magnificent bottle like this one in your hand, which was carefully distilled 3 separate times to reach perfection, was cared for throughout by 3 master distillers, and these 3 master distillers didn't work in parallel but one after the other, meaning that 3 generations have been involved with this drink. That is truly incredible. So I am extremely grateful to have gotten this close to this drink. I'm also very grateful that I could introduce it to you and talk to you about what I think is an absolutely fantastic wonder. If you're curious, by the way, it's worth looking around because Mr. Alcohol's Budapest store is an incredibly impressive shop. There are amazing drinks here that are worth not only seeing, but in some cases buying as well. I think the experts here, the salespeople, the staff, can all talk to you about these drinks. Thank you very much for joining me on this absolutely incredible, wonderful journey. If you can, please subscribe to the channel and share this story with others, because something like this has never happened in Hungary before, and I truly hope that more and more of these opportunities will arise when we showcase bottles to the wider public, bottles that I believe are not ordinary or average at all. So once again, thank you so much for being here. Have a great day, and if you can, we'll be back with more from Kokos soon. Thank you.